Welcome to the 24th ever Iced Coffee Hour podcast. We've made approximately $10,500.
Welcome. Well done.
Thank you
That
so
was a
much
great
for
intro.
coming on. And by the way, if anyone's curious, yes, there's only a $200 jump in the amount of money we've made between this podcast episode and the last one. That is because we're on a grind and we filmed yesterday and today.
Wow.
Two in a row, back to back.
It's crazy. We've never done that before.
No, we have not.
But I'm excited to talk to you because, as you guys know, moving to Las Vegas, you are like the real estate guy in Las Vegas. And watching your videos.
I've been out there for a while, born and raised, man. So done a lot of things out there.
So I found you originally on TikTok. This is how this started, by the way. So you bought my YouTube Creator Academy program.
Right.
And just by pure coincidence, I found your TikTok video because I did like a reacting to TikTok, and your video came up of you in sharing this story about how you buy real estate in Las Vegas, and then I said the community across the street. What did I say? It looked like an office building.
Yeah.
And then those gates wouldn't protect you from a zombie apocalypse.
Yep.
And then we started talking back and forth, and then that turned into me then asking you advice in terms of moving to Las Vegas and the real estate market there. And then your YouTube channel, too, has been growing a lot lately.
Yeah, it's been exciting, man.
So how did you get into real estate? Where did this start?
Oh, man. Well, before I do that, first off, thanks for putting out that Creator Academy, because I would not have started YouTube if I didn't go through it. And, you know, I honestly never thought anything of YouTube. Because, you know, I've been in the business world the whole time, just flipping houses and stuff. And, you know, I saw your YouTubes during, you know, the pandemic, and I'm like, dang, it's like that. These guys are killing it on YouTube. I need to get on that. And the funny thing was, you don't even really promote the course at all.
No.
And I just happened to be like looking through the bio, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's got a course on how he does it? I'm like, this is great. And so, you know, I bought it and started making YouTubes recently. So yeah, that's my new career, being a YouTuber. But
yeah, prior to that, so you're flipping real estate. You're a real estate agent too. How many homes have you sold so far? How many homes have you flipped? How many do you own that you just rent out? Let's get some quick stats here.
Yeah, so I started real estate in 2010 as an agent. I was 21 years old, and I was just a terrible agent, dude. I didn't put in the work at all. I didn't want to show rentals like you did. I didn't want to do any of that. And so after a couple of years, I quit. And, you know, I did other side hustles and stuff. I had a good YouTube video about flipping couches and, you know, just doing anything to make money. But it wasn't until I was 25, so I was back in 2015, that I first, you know, really got into investing. And so I actually maxed out all my credit cards back in 2015 and just bought my first flip. And I only had $10,000, maxed out 50 grand worth of credit cards so I could just get the down payment.
How do you pay for a house with a credit card though?
Because I got a hard money loan on the flip. So they didn't really care about DTI or job income or anything. It was just more so about the deal. And so I found a really good deal, you know, used the credit card money as a down payment, just did a balance transfer for cash. And then, I mean, the rest is history. Started flipping after that. Luckily, it went successful. Made 25 grand on that first one, and then just kept rolling the money over and over again. And at this point, I think I'm close to 400 flips.
And what got you
400?
interested in the first flip that you did? What gave you the idea of doing it?
Ironically, it was, you know, the scammy infomercials. I never went to any of the seminars or anything, but I saw them all the time. And I'm like, what are these guys talking about with, you know, anyone can flip and you could flip with no money? And I didn't go to the seminar because I knew, I'm like, they're just going to try and sell me something. But I started researching online, and I went to Bigger Pockets. That was the first time I'd ever heard about it. And I started listening to their podcast and all that. And eventually I was like, oh, these guys are just either wholesaling or they're, you know, just getting hard money loans to buy this. Because I came from the realtor world where it's like, you need to get a 30-year loan, you need perfect DTI, good credit, all this stuff. And I didn't have any of that.
So when you say 400, is that including wholesale deals? Like how many of those are wholesale and how many of those you actually took title to, fixed up yourself and flipped?
So I flipped probably from 15 to 2018, 95%. And that was about 200 homes up to 2018. And then I made the shift in 2019. I said, you know what? We're not going to just flip every home that comes through. It actually makes more sense to wholesale some of these homes. Not only to limit our risk, but I mean, there would be times where somebody would pay us a $20,000, $30,000 wholesale fee, and the flip would only make 30 or 40. And we're like, why would we flip this? Somebody's going to pay us this right now. So we made the switch and started wholesaling in 2019 and flipping. But I would say we still flip 70 to 75% of them.
And when you say we, is that you and do you have partners on this, or how does that work?
No. So on my flipping business, that's all me. I own it 100%. I've got other companies like my real estate brokerage. I have a partner there. But on the house flipping, it was just me from the ground up, just figuring it out as I went along. And then eventually realizing, hey, I need more employees. I need more people to help me out. And, you know, it just scaled from there, man. And we just kept hiring and building.
So then what made you want to do TikTok and YouTube? You started TikTok first.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I started them at the same time, actually. I just hadn't posted on YouTube. Okay. So during the pandemic, like everyone else, I looked at it, I'm like, man, what's going to happen here? Like, is Vegas about to get crushed? Because that's what everyone was saying. And I was like, what's like the big play here? Should I keep flipping houses? If I can't flip houses, what then? You know? And many people over the years kept telling me, you know, go on YouTube, go on TikTok. Like you hear Gary Vee talk about it all the time, right? And I always ignored it. And I'd always made content. It was on Instagram. You know, I'd make 5-minute videos, just me and the camera, not edited or anything. But eventually enough people kept telling me it that I was like, hey, I need to look into this. And so I posted on Instagram. I said, hey, who are the top YouTubers? And everybody's like, check out Grahamstephan, check out Meet Kevin, you know, check out these guys. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to check out these guys. And then I was looking at it and I'm like, you know, these guys are crushing it on YouTube. And I was like, I think I could do good on YouTube too. And I think I bring a different perspective of, hey, I'm coming from like the business side of things, like running companies and other stuff, not like the normal investor who's, you know, solo investor is what I would call it. You know, we've got probably, I would say over 100 people total between all my companies, you know, between agents, contractors, acquisitions agents, and other stuff. So it's like, I felt like nobody on YouTube was really giving that perspective of, hey, here's how to run a company versus, you know, how to invest for yourself.
Interesting. So, but what prompted that? So I know you want to do this, but why? What's the deeper motivation for doing YouTube and TikTok?
Well, I think back during COVID, like I said, I saw it as an opportunity that nobody was really doing, in my field anyways. Like TikTok, definitely nobody was doing. You still don't even like to post on TikTok.
Oh gosh, I gotta get into it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I tried so hard. I really tried hard, but I'm gonna get better, guys.
Dude, you got good TikToks. I've seen them. Oh, man. But I just saw an opportunity. I'm like, nobody's posting on TikTok. Like, none of these business guys take it seriously. And so I'm like, I'll just do it. And I don't even know how to make TikToks. I don't know anything about it, but if I have to dance, I'll dance. If I have to like...
No, you wouldn't. No, you dance?
I've done a couple dances,
really?
But they get no views.
Did you do the WAP?
No, I didn't do the WAP, dude. My wife won't let me, dude. But, you know, I did that on TikTok.
What's that one? The Shake That Laffy Taffy? Is that the one?
Oh, dude, there's so many dances.
100 likes. Graham will do it.
No,
Graham will do the
WAP with
100 on the table.
Yeah.
No, I won't. If this video gets 1 million views, I'll do it. If
okay.
Seriously, a million views. Maybe edit that out because
I'll mute it again. Okay. People are going to be left wondering what I said once again.
All right, okay, just mute that part.
I was wondering what you said too.
You don't.
It's weird. My ears just toned out for a little bit. I don't know what you said, but don't do that.
Did you find immediate success on TikTok, or was it gradual?
Yeah, TikTok is one of those things where it's like anyone can go viral so quick. It's crazy, dude. So I've got like 300,000 something followers in, 5-6 months. And it just takes a couple of videos really that pop off, and people, the one you saw did really good. And that got me, probably tens of thousands, if not 100,000 followers, because I got that video early on. So I like TikTok, and it's led to a lot of different opportunities. Not necessarily like, TikTok, I get all this money from TikTok, like AdSense or anything, but it's opened a lot of doors. I have multiple people in Vegas who've reached out to me because they see me on TikTok and they're like, hey, I want to work with you in this type of way in different business ventures. So it's been really cool.
What's the secret to making a good TikTok? I feel like you would have had it figured out. Like how do you do that?
I think there's a couple of things, but number one is you got to catch the trends, just like YouTube, but like there's trending sounds. So you got to use their sounds because people will, watch a certain sound and just see what everyone did to that sound. So even if you have it not playing and you have the sound muted, that's a good way to get traction. I would say another thing is you got to hook them in within like 2 seconds. In YouTube, maybe you hook them in within 20, 30 seconds. You got 2 seconds on TikTok or they're swiping.
How do you hook? What's the strategy to get a good hook there?
You can do it either visually or, with audio. So, I mean, visually, you would do it by maybe you're just immediately the first frame of the video
bikini.
is whatever. It is what it is. I'll be in a bikini and somebody's like, what's going on here? Like, I need to watch the rest of this. But yeah, so you could do it visually or audio. You just start, yelling something. You got to have high energy. You can't just mumble it, whatever. Mm-hmm. Or, you put the text on there like an Instagram story and, maybe it says something crazy like, this is how I made $1 million. And then they'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. Follow me to learn more.
And I'll never tell you how I did it.
Exactly. And then you'll watch the next one, how I made $2 million. Follow me.
But people do that. Like, okay, stay tuned for part 2. Then I'll tell you, but make sure to follow.
Oh, I hate
Dude,
those.
I've seen those too. And then
Yeah.
you go into their profile and part 2 was posted like months ago and you can't find it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, TikTok's not very organized at all. If you want to find the content, good luck.
Jeez.
Gosh. Okay, so you got to have an immediate hook. But what type of content does the best there?
I think they're all it doesn't matter. I mean, finance and real estate aren't going to do that great. I mean, it's dancing and, very like prank stuff, but that kind of content. But the beauty is there's not many finance people on it. A lot of people watching this, you probably are into finance. So it's a good opportunity because it's such low competition, But I would just say you could literally do anything on TikTok. And with like the CPM, it's the same no matter what you do. So it doesn't matter.
How much do you get paid on TikTok? I saw
lot of
your
money,
video.
dude.
I saw your video on it, but I'd like you to show us. Could you whip out the phone? Let's see.
Let's take a look.
I want to see how many views you're getting.
Okay.
And then how much you're making from that.
All right. So we've got 325,000 followers.
Okay.
So look, dude, I made $20 today. That's actually really good for me.
$20 today.
I made 34. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, you know what happened?
Yeah.
I made a really good video with my wife. It was her birthday, and I took her on a shopping spree, and so people were really hooked on it. But I've made $452 on lifetime.
Does $452?
Lifetime with 300,000
Oh, I have to apply.
followers.
Get funding to make content apply.
And is there different CPMs for different types of content?
No, it's the same. It's 3 cents.
3 cents per 1,000 views.
3 cents per 1,000. It's crazy. I get 1,000 times better on YouTube.
Yeah. 1,000. So
1,000 times
Wow.
better.
So one view on YouTube is the equivalent.
It's
of
1,000 times more valuable.
Wow. That's incredible.
Oh, Jack, I forgot. I wanted to tell you this because I watched your interview with Andre, but I should have started out with this. But I want you to know you're a good-looking guy, dude.
Oh, you stop it, man.
Oh.
You are gorgeous. Are you kidding me? You are
I was going to comment, but it would have got flooded, so I had to tell you in person.
you are gorgeous, man. Thank you so much. That is too sweet.
All right, I'll do that later. I'm going to apply. Now I
Do
can
it.
start making money.
You'll make probably $5. It'll be good.
Pays for sushi. I mean, that's the thing. For
It
an
does.
entire week,
It
that's
does.
a free sushi meal every single week, paid for by TikTok.
It's
Good
true.
deal.
Yeah. Now, what
But
about
you just got to produce more content. That's it.
I know. What would be your recommendation to me if I wanted to grow on TikTok? What should I do?
Well, for you, it'd be easy because you already have such a massive following that if you just post, everyone from YouTube is going to go watch it. I mean, that's how I feel, But if I was you, I'd keep doing the videos you were doing. They were good. Yeah.
Like just quick short form, 5 best investments, what I'm investing in this week. Just
very raw.
Really?
Don't, put too much effort. Like seriously, this is my routine. I try and post 2 a day. That's my goal.
2 a day.
2 a day.
Wow.
So I'll post 2 a day. I'll film them in the morning. So if you watch my TikToks, a lot of them, I'm in my gym clothes because I'm just filming them before the gym. It takes me like 30 minutes. I'm just trying to bust out whatever I can think of. So that's what I would do.
What do you talk about?
Whatever I feel like. So I'll talk about real estate, some type of tip with real estate, whether it be investing, house flipping, whatever. I'll also talk about current events, with related to finance, whatever. I think that'd be great for you because you love talking about that stuff anyway. I would take anything you talk about on YouTube and just make it a TikTok because you've already did it. I was talking about Logan Paul and his Pokemon the other day, because some people are talking about. So I think you literally can just take whatever you're doing on YouTube and just make a 15 to 30 second clip of it.
I think it would be fairly easy for you to be successful on TikTok, definitely.
I gotta do it.
Because I feel like transferring from YouTube to TikTok, I think you've said this before, would be way easier than TikTok
to YouTube.
But
way
you've been
easier.
so successful at that, man.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
I don't know.
man.
I feel like your YouTube growth is YouTube. Your TikTok growth is TikTok. Your YouTube has been doing really well because you're doing well at YouTube.
I would say you're like 75% right. I think TikTok has definitely played a role because I do in TikToks push them to YouTube. That's the call to action at the end. Hey, for instance, your video that we're talking about, it's like 30 seconds, right? You're like, hey, if you want the full video on this, go watch it on YouTube because I can only tell you so much in 30 seconds. And that's how you can push them to YouTube. So I think it's definitely helped, but I agree. I mean, I think they are 2 totally different audiences for sure. They have very low attention spans on TikTok.
You know what I'll try? I'll redo that video, that how much I make with 2 million subscribers. I'll put that on TikTok.
I guarantee you'll get millions.
Really?
For sure.
You think so?
Oh, how much you
yeah.
make with 100%.
Yeah,
Kids would
100%.
love that.
Really? Okay. Let's try it. You know what? I'll put it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'll be my promise to you.
Okay.
And then we'll reevaluate a week from now and we'll see how it does.
And then what I'll do is I'll duet it. And then I'm going to take credit. I'm going to say, I told Graham to do this video,
Fair.
so
Yeah.
you guys need to
Yep.
follow me.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Let's try that.
Hey guys, I'm just going to throw this in really quickly. Graham posted the video and it went viral overnight and it has over 10 million views and over like 1 million likes. So I'll throw up screenshots right over this.
Let's talk, because I am actually really excited about talking about this, is investing in real estate in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because it's brand new. Jack's really excited.
I'm so excited.
Jack has been
man. I'm
Jack
talking-
can
so
gamble
excited.
too, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
I can.
good.
Jack's
Yeah.
been talking, no joke, for 2 weeks about how excited he's been to talk to you tonight about investing in real estate. Because Jack wants to invest in
I
real estate in
can't
Las
do it
Vegas.
here.
No.
I cannot do it here. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
have like $150,000 to put down. I mean, I
You
probably
will.
more than that.
You will.
But still, like, I could afford a down payment on a place in Las Vegas.
But I mean, you can just get an FHA loan,
Yeah, but I wouldn't live there. Wouldn't I need to live there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I gotta.
You got a sugar
Jack
daddy.
Jack is mooching, right?
Graham wouldn't have it any other way.
Jack,
He
I
would
don't-
not
I don't
rather
blame
have
you,
it
dude.
any other
Jack's
way.
the kid, he won't move out.
I won't. No.
I want him to go off on his own one day. And he's like,
I'm like a barnacle. is
Dad,
what
the
I am.
meatloaf. Dad, where's the meatloaf?
Do you cook, Jack?
Dad.
I do, yeah. And I
Peanut
I-
butter
I
and
cook-
jelly.
Dude, Graham
seriously.
came down and
Yeah.
he came down and we could work on something together. And I had a plate with 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And he looked at me with this face of disgust. He was
I
like,
pay Jack so well.
Jack, what?
So well.
What
that he
other
doesn't have to
value
eat
do you
peanut butter
bring
and
other
jelly.
than being an awesome, good-looking podcast host?
with a very symmetrical face?
Very symmetrical.
your face, I was going to say it, but I just figured it's perfectly symmetrical. Absolutely perfect.
For those that don't get the joke, watch the end of the Andre.
It is.
Jake
I'm not
video,
even
yeah.
kidding though when I say that. Like, draw a line on your face and it
And it's just,
even on both sides, like the
we
Taj
could
Mahal.
fold it and it'd just be,
Yeah,
just be even.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, I bring a value because I edit for the second channel.
Okay.
Graham and I, we produce something like a mastermind when we're together. It's not a mastermind, but we bounce ideas
Yeah, we
back
do.
and forth.
We do.
Good.
Titles and thumbnails.
We're
Oh,
both very
kinda go
different,
too, yeah.
independent thinkers.
Okay.
I think that we work well together. And of course, there are other things that I do, like
Emails
mentorship.
and
Idea-
the mentorship group. Jack runs that.
ideas.
Emails, some ideas. Sometimes it's random work.
Nice.
reaching out to people on my behalf. So yeah, it works well.
It's just a bunch of random
I
stuff.
should have brought my Jack. I recently
You have a
hired
Jack?
a Jack. Yeah.
And how's that working out for you?
He's great. He's just like you. He's really young. He's 20 years old, you know, and he's just great. He sent me the best like interview video I've ever seen. I'll show you guys it after.
Okay.
Like I was like, I gotta hire this guy. I don't even have a position for him, but he's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what is your advice to Jack to invest in Las Vegas? Actually, how about this? Give us a rundown first of like what the market is like in Las Vegas, because Andre and I know you saw that part. We had a bit of a back and forth. I'm saying the market's going up, and he's saying it's going down. Who's right? I'll leave it to you to be that tiebreaker. I would trust your judgment on this one.
Well, I think obviously because Andre's still trying to buy his first house.
Yeah.
So it's like I get it. He's very nervous about it. I totally like first time home buyers get that all the time. But my thing with Vegas is there's no inventory. Like the only way it crashes is if there's this sudden rush of inventory, which to me is not going to happen at least in the next 6 months. Not with all the legal stuff going on, not with, you know, foreclosures being halted and all this. So I don't see anything happening on that front. And then you got to assume all these people like you who are moving in are kind of combating that. So it's like, I don't think it's going anywhere. And in fact, if I had to guess, it probably will go up.
What about, Andre had some good points about the job market in Las Vegas and a lot of people being laid off.
Right.
The unemployment can't go on forever.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I do agree with him in the sense that if you have, let's say, 15% of the population just unemployed right now, that has to have some residual effect on the market.
I mean, here's what I think is going to happen. And I've been saying this since probably May. So let me backtrack and say back in when, you know, everything happened, all my friends stopped buying. All my flipper buddies, investors, they all just were like, we're running for the hills. We saw what happened to Vegas last time. And I was like, dude, I'm going to keep buying. Like, I see a lot of things that I think are going to be okay. And it turned out to be right. And, you know, I bought some super good deals because there was no competition. No one was buying. And I mean, we're still buying 5 to 10 a month. So like, I'm super confident, at least in the short term. But the reason I'm confident is number one, there's low supply. So it's still going to take a while before supply increases. Even if this happens, it will take a while. But the other thing is, I think the banks are going to work with them. I think all these people in mortgage forbearance are not going to get foreclosed on 12 months after the fact.
No.
They're going to get loan mods. And I think even if they don't have a job, the bank is going to find a way to work with them. And so that's why I don't see this flood of inventory. The other problem is the people who would sell otherwise are not selling because of this, because they're in forbearance. And so if they try and sell now, even with equity, they have nowhere to go because they don't have a job. They can't qualify for another house. So their only option is to keep their home.
Or rent.
They can't rent though. They don't have a job.
But they would have money from selling a house if they have equity.
Right. If somebody's going to take them with no job.
Right.
So it's like, to me, the best choice for everyone is always to just work with the bank. And I think that's what most people are going to do. And I think the banks are going to work with them because they're going to get incentivized.
Yeah. So you think the market is going to stay at worst steady, and realistically, it's probably going to go up, continue going up.
For sure. And I think when I'm saying this, I'm just talking the short term, 6 to 12 months. I mean, in the long term, real estate will always be a good investment. It doesn't matter where you buy. But in the short term, as like a flipper who's trying to make a profit here in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm very confident.
So what markets are you investing in? Like what price point? What do you go for? What's the cash flow like?
In Vegas?
Yeah.
So in Vegas, I don't have a ton of rentals. I have a 10-unit apartment and then probably like 6 or 7 single families.
That seems like a ton to me, man. Oh my.
But when you when you compare it to, you know, flipping 100 homes, we don't keep a lot of them. And the reason I don't keep a lot of them, I would love to, is just the Vegas cash flow isn't very good. I mean, at the end of the day, if you got to look at every home you buy in the lens of what's the best exit strategy. And so every time we get a home, we'll say, hey, okay, I got this home. what can I do? I can wholesale it for 20 grand, right? I can flip it and make 40 grand. Or I can keep it as a rental. And if I use the BRRRR strategy, even if I use that, I might cash flow $100 a month, $200 a month. Because you got to remember, we're not putting a significant down payment. We're trying to get all of our cash back and get the highest leverage when we keep rentals. So it never really pencils out to keep it in Vegas. That's the problem.
What ROIs are you seeing though? Let's say I went in there with like 500 grand cash. I'm like, I just want to make a decent return. Nothing phenomenal. I just want to get a nice, respectable return in a good area. What would you recommend? And what would the cash flow be like? Just on the average place. Nothing spectacular. Just
Are you going to leverage the 500 or just buy it cash?
we could go both options. Let's say I buy cash. I want to see what the total return is on that.
Let's just say you buy it in a nice, middle class area, newer home. Maybe you're spending $300 to $350, and that house is going to rent for like $2,200.
It's better than LA. So I see everything from the perspective of like LA. That's decent. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to Vegas, being like, wow, this is phenomenal. I could do these.
This is a lot
numbers.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
But when you look at other markets, the cash flow is much better. And I'm not even talking the Midwest where everything is just stupid cheap and like the returns on paper look good, but they're not at the end of the day.
Yep.
So we invest in Tucson as well. And I don't have any rentals in Tucson, but we've done flips out there. But like Tucson, you could get, and I hope this doesn't oversaturate
this is just
Tucson.
Wait, no, this is just about to click off,
Yeah,
Jack.
we
You
got
wouldn't
it.
mind. I thought you were saying that because we were approaching 30 minutes here.
Oh, no. Yeah, so in Tucson, you could get a house for, say, $150 to $200. It'll rent for $1,500 or more. So you're like almost hitting the 1% rule in like a major market that's a college town that has a lot going on. So that's why I kind of look there if I wanted to get some single families.
So it sounds like renting, or just having rentals, isn't the greatest investment in Las Vegas. Would you still say it's a viable option for me if I could find a good place in Vegas, or you think that it's just probably not worth my time? Or
I think it depends on your opportunity cost. So I think like for a lot of people, if they're just going to buy one home, yeah, buying the Vegas home is better than buying the home out here. Your return will be better. But for me, like, let's just say I was going to put 20% down on this home. Okay, I put 60 grand down on a $300,000 house. I can get a way better return with my 60 grand because we come across deals all the time, and I can use that to flip and make a lot more money. So that's kind of just like my perspective. So it really depends on what your opportunities are in front of you.
sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm just so eager.
Jack,
that's my issue.
I'll try and. I'm getting a little like too complex. Buy your first deal.
Buy my first deal.
Just buy it.
That's what I want to do, but I'm also scared that I'm getting like overzealous. I think that I'm gonna. I don't know. I'm naive because I haven't.
The biggest thing I see is the analysis paralysis. Is like so many people do not pull the trigger because they're like so consumed with analyzing, they talk themselves out of many deals. Right? You could have bought the worst deal ever 5 years ago, and you're looking smart. You're looking like a genius. And so, if you buy a deal today, I can guarantee you 5 years from now, it will have been a good decision.
But I'd also need to like familiarize myself with the market and stuff like that to find a deal.
Yeah, well, it just depends what kind of deal you're trying to find. Like if you're only looking in a certain pocket of Las Vegas, yeah, it could be difficult. But if you're open to any and everything and you're just looking for equity, there's tons of deals out there. It just is a matter of, are you okay buying in that area or that house?
What about appreciation? Because you're talking about some of these areas, you get really good cash flow. I don't know if they'll see the appreciation that Las Vegas might see in some of these areas.
Right. I think I've seen the zip code appreciation maps over the years, and it's always hit or miss because sometimes you'll get an area like Summerlin that on paper doesn't appreciate a lot. And then you'll see like these really, distraught areas have huge appreciation. But the reason that it has the huge appreciation is because that's where all the flippers are. The flippers are buying them for $100,000 and selling them for $200,000. But they can't take into account that, well, they put $50,000 into it. And, that's the reason they forced appreciation. It's not like it naturally happened. So when you look at those maps, it's hard to say, oh man, like this is the area to invest in. It had the most, because if you look, most of the bad areas appreciate the most. So it's really hard to say which is best. But for me as an investor, I always, if I can force appreciation, that's what I want to do.
So they're going into these areas. People are still paying those prices, but because there's now like 70 grand extra in these homes, so people are willing to pay for that. I mean, makes sense to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts then on like Summerlin, Henderson, those areas between the two? You gave me some really good advice when we talked on the phone.
You're going to have to remind me which advice it was.
Oh, just the differences between Summerlin and Henderson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I love both Summerlin and Henderson. I mean, they're the premier areas of Vegas. I would guess most people from Cali looking, in that $1 million+ range are going to end up in one of those two. I like Summerlin. I like them both for long term. I don't see one or the other just, outperforming each other. It really is going to depend on the lifestyle you want to live. And so like Henderson, if I was telling you this, you got really good views if you're willing to pay for it. You can't touch the views in Henderson. They're the best. Summerlin, though, to me, has a lot more nicer homes in that like price point you bought in, for sure. We were looking at them like, these Summerlin homes are better at this price point. But I think once you get to an even higher price point, then it's like, I would go with Henderson for sure. But if like you're in Jack's situation and you're buying, let's just say this $300,000, $400,000 home, I would pick Summerlin for sure, because they got really nice communities at that price point.
See? Buy a home over there.
And then you can leave Graham's home.
Find a place on my own.
We'll have to do his own grocery shopping.
I already do that. If anyone's wondering, I already do my own grocery shopping.
You got to do your own laundry.
I look so bad. I look so bad on this podcast.
Start cleaning up after himself.
It's a game to see how bad I can look on this podcast.
That's all a joke, honestly.
Well, that's really insightful. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many other random questions
for
like Las Vegas. I just don't know. Like,
hit me with the random ones. I talked about housing. Where'd you grow up? I grew up in Southwest Vegas. So I was born and raised in Vegas. And then I actually went to college here at CSUN, so pretty close to here. And played baseball there and got drafted by the Oakland A's.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So did that for 3 years with the A's. And then I played another 5 years professionally on, it's called independent baseball. Still pro baseball, but dude, I've played all over the country. And yeah, I didn't even talk about that, but that was how my investing career started. I would play baseball 6 months out of the year, and then I would invest 6 months out of the year.
That is so cool. What position did you play?
Second base.
I love baseball.
Yeah?
I love baseball.
Who's your team?
Dodgers.
Okay.
I mean, I paid most attention to baseball. It was years ago. It was the team like Rafael Furcal, James Loney, Matt Kemp, Juan Pierre, like that whole...
Loney lives in Vegas.
Does he really?
Yeah. You're going to get to meet him, dude. I'll make an introduction.
That is
wow. We should get his reaction on that.
That is crazy. I mean, I loved that team. That was my Dodgers team 100%. And that is so cool you played second base.
Yeah.
Can we talk about like salaries and stuff in baseball?
Oh, dude, I'm happy. So it's funny, man, because people are like, dude, you must have been getting paid. Like, especially on TikTok, they'll be like, well, yeah, it's easy to start investing when, you played pro baseball. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea. So I was a late round draft pick. I signed for $20,000, which, as a 21-year-old, it's not insignificant, but it's not the millions that these first rounders get, the ones you're reacting to.
Second channel.
Yeah.
Tua, the $40 million contract over like 4 years.
It ain't like that. So I got $20,000 out of college, and I thought I was going to get a lot more, but it is what it is, right? And during the seasons, you only get paid $1,200 a month. So I was making $1,200 a month. I'm not kidding. $1,200 a month. We've done the minimum wage. It was like $3 an hour, and you only get that while you're playing. So the season's only 6 months. So I was making $7,200 a year in minor league baseball, and so that was why I became a realtor, because I mean I can't live off $7,200. So I had to get a second job, and I needed something that I could actually leave and come back and do. But the problem was I was never good at being a realtor because, I'd be playing baseball. I wasn't really focused on it, and I hated it too. But dude, it's crazy like how little money they pay you in the minor leagues.
I totally thought it would have been way more than that. Considering that the jump between that and the majors is like crazy.
It's like going from a PSA 9 to a 10.
It is.
That's what it is. That little difference.
Yep.
Isn't the MLB, don't they have like a minimum? Isn't it like 400
$500,000?
grand? Yeah, it's like $500,000 is the minimum.
Wow.
Yeah. And even in like
idea.
AAA, people, so I was only in single A, but like in AAA, if you're not part of the 40-man roster, what they call it, it's still like $2,000 a month. It's not anything. And even when you make the 40-man roster, which means you might be getting close to the big leagues, the first year I want to say they make like $40,000 a year. Like it's a significant jump from what you were making, but still it's $40,000 a year.
What about like managers? Do they take? Is there like an agent or something, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I had an agent, and they take a portion of your signing bonus. I don't even remember. Mine was so small; it was like 4% or something. But in the minor leagues, they're legally not allowed to take any of that because you'll starve. And once you sign your first big league contract, then they start taking that 3 to 5% again.
And what do they do?
Not much, man. I shouldn't take that. I should take that back. But they'll negotiate the contract, right? I mean, cool. Most athletes don't have any business savvy, right? So, okay, you need them to negotiate that contract. But from there, until you sign that next contract, which in baseball is way down the road, your signing bonus, that first one, say you're 18 years old out of college or out of high school, I mean, you may not get your first real contract until you're 25. It's 7 years of them not really doing anything other than, hey, how's it going, Ryan? Just checking in on you. You need any cleats or something? Like they'll send you equipment.
Wow.
That's pretty much it.
What happened? Why didn't you progress further? Was it a choice of yours, or was it just didn't happen?
I just think I didn't have the talent level, man. You start reaching every level, like, and seeing how good these guys are. So like in high school, right? For most part, most people, like, they'll either fall off or, there'll be that stud, right? Who maybe gets to college. And then you play college baseball. And like I played out here, right? And you start to see all these people across the country like, dang, these guys are good. Like, these were the best of their high schools. And then from there, they get drafted. And you're like, these were the best of the best, not only in college, but also now high school, but also now across the entire world. Because now you're getting all the Dominicans, the Asians, whatever. Like, everyone's coming together now to compete across the world. And you're like, holy smokes, like, now all these guys are monsters. I went from, I'm 5'10". I'm like not a big guy by any means. But I went from being like a power hitter in college to I'm the smallest guy on my team. Seriously. Yeah. And so for like a guy like me who's very small as an athlete, normal size as a businessman, but it was just like, wow, these guys are good. And it's not like I was intimidated. It was just like, yo, if I want to succeed, I got
like physiological barriers.
That's why
I got to go above and beyond.
That's why I was never a pro basketball player.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, what's interesting is like,
So I never played football. I thought about being a linebacker, but genetics were like, nope, you can't do that. You got to make YouTube videos instead.
You got a great YouTube personality.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm not good at sports. I
Not
never,
at all?
not at all. No.
What did you play?
Nothing.
You never played anything.
No.
You'd be good at rock climbing, like bouldering. Don't you think so?
I got
What
good
about
upper body
Foursquare?
strength. Yeah.
Yeah, did you play Foursquare?
How do you play that again? What was that? It sounds familiar.
Okay, you didn't play. What about tetherball?
Tetherball's incredible.
No, tetherball. You got to be really tall to get that. Like as it goes up time.
No, you gotta have good
hit it.
hops. Just jump.
Yeah.
No. Because the thing is, when the ball is all the way unraveled, like that thing goes high.
Yeah.
Like, I can't grab that.
So you don't. What about running or something?
I had asthma. I was physically bad at any sport in PE.
Oh my god.
But you're pretty fit though.
Yeah, but that's from like weights. That's
Graham-
from not.
Graham-
Like,
So you work
muscle
out though.
to
You
weight.
like,
yeah, I do.
You like
Yeah,
lifting.
Yeah, but a lot of it is just aesthetics. Like physically, I'm still pretty weak.
You just.
But it's for
You don't
looks.
say that. You
But
don't-
it's just for looks.
But
Let's
I
be
would
real,
rather
we were
I would
moving
rather
it-
look
yeah.
good than actually like be strong and not like those big bulky
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
that are super
yeah.
strong.
It's not practical at all.
Yeah.
I like working out. But then when it comes time to move a couch, like I'm sitting there and be like, I can't move this.
We're gonna have to hire someone.
This is heavy. Yeah.
You are pretty good though. Like
Yeah.
we do pull-ups, and Graham's like that. Like he's going fast. So you have a good like strength to muscle ratio.
Yeah, but
Or strength to weight ratio.
yeah,
but-
in school
Pound for pound, he's strong.
yeah.
Yeah, in school though, I was always like the last one to be picked for like sports. Like throughout, like I don't. I mean, the truth is that
But who's laughing now?
Yeah.
Well, it's still, but I don't know if we could put this on the podcast. But the truth, you decide. But the truth is, that there was me. Maybe don't put that in there, just because. Maybe don't put
But
that in
either
there.
way,
But
that's a good story.
But that's how.
That's what it was.
That's usually what it was.
Wow.
Yeah. But I also had asthma. So like on top of everything else, and it's like I don't like running.
You didn't like, did you not like any sport?
No.
No
You just
enjoyment.
didn't even enjoy.
No enjoyment at all.
But maybe it was
from
just
sports.
because you had such bad experiences growing
Never
up.
got into even watching sports. Like I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know.
You enjoy sports, correct? Like obviously.
Oh, I love it.
You know what? I think I don't do well with like team sports. I like to just do something on my own.
Are you competitive?
Not really. A little bit.
You're
I'm
a
more
little
competitive
competitive.
with myself.
With your
I would
job,
say.
you're
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah. Do you want to be like the
yeah.
best YouTuber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yes and no. I mean, there were certainly milestones where it was an accomplishment for me to be like, I looked up to Dave Ramsey's channel,
Right.
And so to one day have more subscribers than Dave, that was a huge accomplishment for me because like, oh wow, like I was watching Dave Ramsey's channel from the very beginning. I always aspired to be like, one day if I could do that, like that would be a big deal. So those little milestones for me were really significant.
Right. Because I just know for me, like, obviously most athletes are just hyper competitive. And so I've taken that into everything I do. I'm like, all right, I want to be the best house flipper in Las Vegas. You know, how do I do that? And then it's like, okay, if I do that, great. What's next? And so that's kind of also where YouTube came into play. It was like, well, we've been flipping 100 plus houses since 2018. It's like, what else is there? Like, do I flip 200? Do I flip 300? Like, is that what I want to do? Not really. Like, what's another challenge? And I just saw YouTube and social. I'm like, you know what? For me, I want to be the best YouTuber that's, flipping houses and doing all this stuff in my lane, in my niche, because I just don't see really anyone else doing it. And so it's just another competitive thing to do. And then I think once I do that, I'll be like, all right, now what's next?
So where would be the point then that you get to be like, okay, I did this. What's that? Like, what goals do you have when it comes to this?
I think for me, 1 million subscribers would be a big milestone. I looked at it when I started this year. I said, the goal for this year, if I could do it, I would be so hyped, would be 100,000 subscribers. And, in sports, there's always numbers. Like, you're just trying to hit numbers. And we'll see what happens. If people subscribe after this, great.
Let's pause it right here. So we have more people watching right now than later. If you haven't already, first line of the description, his YouTube channel, click on it, get it done, subscribe, get him as many subscribers as you can.
And you got to subscribe to this channel because here's the weird thing. We've been getting so far like almost 100,000 views the last few videos. Why do
No
we?
one's subscribed. No one is.
Why? I don't get it. Why aren't you subscribed? So, here's an honest comment for you. If you're watching this right now and you're not subscribed, I just want to know the reason that you're not going to subscribe after I ask. Please do it. It's worth it. But if you're not going to, if you're like, listen, Graham, like, sorry, I like this video, I'm not going to, just comment down below because we want to improve.
Also, if you dislike these videos, like if you do the dislike button, let us know why.
Yeah, I'm really good.
Who does that?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever disliked a YouTube video.
No.
I don't think I ever
I have. I have a few times. It's rare. Like, even if I dislike the video, like I personally, like I don't like it at all, I won't dislike the video. But there's every now and then you just want to be like, listen, I want to send a message.
You disliked. Okay, so these people
Listen.
made an ad on you, and I noticed you disliked the video. I thought it was funny. I would have liked it. So people made an ad with Graham's face on it.
Oh, because
and then Graham did an Instagram post, and he said, if you find the ad, screen record it and upload it to YouTube and tell me about it. So someone did that, and then Graham clicked on the link, and it went to a YouTube video where it was just a black screen, and it was playing like the
Oh, what is it? That
Sports Center?
No.
It's
The Larry David.
Curb Your Enthusiasm song. Yeah, it was just
I
playing that.
I don't know if we'll play it because it'll get. Or you know what? We could play like a brief second. This is it. I don't think I kept the dislike on there though. This is it.
You undisliked?
No. Oh yeah, it's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Graham kept the dislike there.
Because it got me. Listen, when something has 36 likes and 76 dislikes, I mean, like, listen, I get it. It's clever, but
dislike.
But I disliked it. Yeah.
He disliked the video. He wanted to see the ad. Unfortunately, he didn't. But
Yeah.
he got to see it later.
I got to see it later. 2 other people uploaded the video. Thank you so much for that. It was clever. Listen, I have nothing against it. It's just, I had a dislike. It's okay.
If you dislike videos, let us know why you dislike videos. If you've ever disliked one of Graham's videos, one of Ryan's videos, let us know.
I'm really curious. Yeah.
Most of my dislikes are for my hair, to be honest.
What? You look like CR7, man.
I get that too. But I'm like the super poor man's version of Cristiano. But on TikTok, they say that. Like TikTok, those kids are ruthless.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
no kidding.
dude, they have no filter. So they'll be like, you bootleg Cristiano. Or they'll be like, dude, cut that hair off. What are you doing? Like, it's crazy. But then on Instagram, it's a more mature audience. And they're like, dude, we love your hair. So I don't know.
It's
But
unique. It makes you stand out, which is what you want to do as a business person.
right now, I'm stuck with it.
Graham
It does,
said,
it does make you stand out, yeah.
You said you would do pink or green hair like
ZHC?
no, like ZHC
Or Ninja.
and the Ninja.
I
He
think
said
it's
he would
cool.
do that.
I think it's cool.
I thought he was joking when he
No.
said he would do that.
No, I think it's cool. I think if you build a brand around that, like you think Ninja, you think colored hair.
Yeah.
You think ZHC, you think that teal color. It's their brand. It makes them significantly more memorable. And I think with you, almost with your hair.
Yeah.
I don't have the hairline to do something like that. You got the hairline where you could make
That's an
that where you
immaculate
could,
hairline.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, and the people always say, how long does it take you to do your hair? I'm like, it honestly doesn't take that long.
But it does. But the thing is, cutting it. Like, how often do you get?
I'll get a
haircut?
haircut like once a week.
Once a week.
Hair like that, I wonder how
Wow.
they cut it. Do they just get like something and like make a ruler like an inch off the head and they just like it just
It's so
'cause
creative.
everything is so perfect.
We'll,
that
we'll,
it's-
vlog, we'll vlog it next time.
Please do. I'm so interested.
How did you pick the hairstyle?
Well, now that we're into it.
Teach us.
Yeah, because I'm curious.
So my hair looks exactly like my dad's hair, but more like modern. So my dad obviously does not have like this, cut part.
I just noticed that you have a line that
Yeah.
goes. That's just the.
yeah, so
just
that the
noticed
barber
that.
does
Show
help.
the
Yeah.
show the camera. He's got a
Wow.
line.
So my dad obviously doesn't have the part. He doesn't
Yeah.
line up the front or anything. My barber does that. But my dad's hair is just like this.
Yeah.
It's like the Bruno Mars hair. It's Filipino hair, dude. It's just
You're Filipino.
yeah, half.
Cool.
So that's just our natural hair. It just poofs up.
That is awesome. I'm jealous.
But how did you pick the style? You went to the barber one day and you're just like.
So I was looking at Cristiano and I was like, dude, that guy, he's
he's like-
almost as good looking as Jack.
He's like,
Oh my God.
Say no more, fam. You know that meme.
It's a nice hairstyle. It is a nice hairstyle, I must say.
but-
I know,
how
but the
did you pick-
TikTokers
yeah.
hate it.
But how did you pick it? Where did this start?
I started doing this hairstyle probably right when I started flipping houses. Just new me, dude. I actually shaved my head when I was 21, believe it or not. That was not a good look. I thought it was. And then I had a faux hawk for a really long time. And I even had a mohawk too. But it was like, it's not like your punker mohawk, just like one of those ones. And then one day I just was like, dude, you know what? I'm going back to my old hairstyle when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I actually did my hair like you. I just,
the Justin Bieber.
yeah, I just parted it over.
We all did that. Yeah.
and I was like,
Oh no! Back then it was the Zac Efron. I had his haircut before he had his haircut. Like I've had this haircut since I was like 8 or 9.
Oh
Like,
my
no
God.
joke. I've had the same haircut this entire time.
Well, dude.
And then it became very
consistency.
popular in 2005, 2006.
It's like it
Yeah.
goes out, then it comes back in, and then.
yeah.
But yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going back to my hairstyle as a kid. So I was like pulling it over, but I realized my hair was now like poofy. So it was like just
evolved.
poofed over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I guess I'll just kind of like do this in between thing.
Ryan V2 is what you called it. That is
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hat because I could not show my hair like this.
What do you mean?
Because I
Why
get
it's
these
too
things
long?
like my mom calls them wings because my hair's so long it hits my ears, it shoots out at the sides. She calls them wings.
That's like that. Yeah. That is like Bieber's old haircut.
Yeah.
oh god.
Well, thanks for telling us the history of the hair. It's good. It's a good hairline.
People ask a
Yeah.
lot. So they're going to be happy.
Do they really ask about
Yeah.
that? What do
I'm
they
not
say?
kidding.
Like, what's questions?
How long does it take? What's on your head? You know, those
on
typical
your
things.
head?
Have you
My
thought about making a TikTok like my hair routine, like the
Yeah, I
truth,
did.
the truth about my hair or
Yeah,
something?
I already did it.
Really?
Yeah.
How did it do?
I don't even know. Finding it on TikTok is so hard.
Yeah.
You can't even search for it.
Okay.
But it was okay. It wasn't viral.
You know how like the people did like the forehead reveals and stuff like that on TikTok?
Yeah.
That was like a huge thing. They would like get their hands and they'd like move it up their forehead and then pull it back to their hair. Yeah, to do a forehead reveal. I mean, you would ace that test. You would ace it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Speaking of weird things on TikTok, there's the one that I saw that Macy was showing me this, where it's you show the side profile. And it's like this big reveal, like everyone sees your face, and then you turn to the side, and like the music, it's like Avril Lavigne playing something in the back. It's
What's
weird.
the
man.
bad one? The head on or the side?
The side. It's supposed to be like, I look pretty from the front, but then you see the side, and then like I'll show it to you guys. We probably gotta turn the cameras off and on again.
Here, Ryan, while we're doing this, you want to do a segment where we go over your outfit and how much each article of clothing costs?
Okay. I actually did one of Graham's videos where I talk about how much I spend a month. And we had a lot of people comment like, dude, Graham would not be happy.
How much do you spend a month?
Probably like 20 grand.
On personal spending?
Wait, what? For what? Why? Dude, that's not personal spending.
It's the hair. The hair is what
Yeah,
Yeah,
costs
the hair's
product.
$15,000 a month.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah,
his
at
haircut
least.
every week.
No, I mean, I got a family. So, I mean, I have 2 kids. We got a lot of,
I didn't know you had 2 kids.
they're both under 2, so they're really young.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just did a video on it. I've never actually budgeted. So it was my first time really looking at it and seeing like, man, where are we at? It's about 20,000 a month.
Why? So where does this break down? So you got a family. So where's
I've
the
got a
problem?
family,
Let's find
2
out where the
kids.
leak is, where the financial leak is. Okay, so
I know where the
Phantom
leak
train.
is.
Okay, so you have a wife and 2 kids. How long have you been married?
7 years.
7 years.
How old are you?
I'm 31, dude.
Are you really?
Yeah. So my
Why
wife,
did I think you were? I thought you were like 25 or something like that.
it's because I'm Asian, dude. It's just we look young.
Wow.
You've been blessed.
Yeah. Seriously, if you told me you're like 24,
You'd have believed
23, I would have been like, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
we got married really young. She was 21. I was 24.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually, that's why we came out here. When I told you, I was like, we're going out to Newport to celebrate our anniversary. So our anniversary's
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's on Sunday.
Wow.
So 7 years.
Cool.
But yeah, we waited 5 years and now we have 2 kids. And
Okay.
but yeah, on the spending side,
Yeah. How much is
So-
the house? Let's start with the house.
so I said that our house is about $4,000 a month mortgage, but we also support my parents, so their house is like $2,000, and then we have a missionary house that's about $1,500. So I said it was like $7,500.
Sure.
Utilities, insurance, all that stuff was a few $1,000. So you're at like,
What do you mean? That's a lot. A few $1,000 utilities?
well, on 3 houses.
A few $1,000.
Yeah,
well, I'm saying
the electric bill here
Between,
is
like, HOAs
$150.
and-
Yeah.
Well, so I think I'd have to go back to the video, but I said utilities was probably $1,500.
That's
$500
a lot.
a house.
That's a $500 a house. That's a lot.
It's
a
Vegas,
lot.
man.
Are utilities
It's
that much
hot.
more in Vegas? Really?
Dude, you'll have a power bill in the summer at your new house. Your power bill will probably be $500.
No, it won't.
I compared
I
electricity
guarantee we
costs
know.
between LA and Vegas, and they're
Yeah.
about 30% less in Vegas, electricity and water.
Yeah, but I don't keep it that cold. I would, if electricity is going to be that much, I'd be like, oh no, it's going to be 80 degrees inside.
Is it warm in here for you?
No, I'm good.
See?
So
80 degrees. It's nice.
well, even whatever. It's $1,000 for 3 houses.
I turn on the AC usually like 78. Like 78 degrees. Yeah.
That's way too hot.
No, it's not. It's
that's
nice.
We're
It's
chilling
fine.
at like 72 all the time. What else we got? So insurance, we pay $450. So that's really cheap actually.
That's really cheap, yeah.
What else we got? We've got the Tesla out there, $1,300.
Okay, I mean, it makes sense to finance that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All our other cars are paid off, so no other payments. I said car insurance was about $1,000 for everyone's cars.
Hey.
What else we got? What are the other personal expenses? Food. Okay, so food is where everyone said you'd freak out. So we spend about $150 a day on food.
That's 4 people, right?
Two adults
your wife,
and 2 babies.
Two kids.
$150 a day.
Yeah.
So they're eating lobster, sushi,
We don't cook.
Mastros.
No,
yeah.
we don't eat at Mastro's every night.
Spago.
$150. So that's $4,500.
$4,500.
Why so much?
Dude, because I ate so like bad when I was playing minor league baseball. Because we would make $1,200 a month, and I hated it. And so I was actually super frugal. Like I was pinching every penny you could pinch. I was meal prepping, bringing food on the road, all this stuff because I had to. And I always remember I was like, dude, one day, the day I can not have to worry about my food budget, like I'm rich, I'm good. And so once I finally just was like, dude, I make enough money where, what's $4,000 at the end of the day?
I'm considered myself to make a lot. I look at that, I'm like $4,000 a month. In fact, I've wanted sushi this entire week, but I'm saving it for I think Saturday night, and that's like $30. But I'm saving it for Saturday. And no joke, I kid you not, I'm looking forward to that. This entire week, I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. That's a big splurge.
Graham and I are a little bit different on this. I think that's totally reasonable to spend $4,500. Like, it's a lot. It is a lot. But considering your current position, I think food is. I mean, I understand where you want to spend like splurge on food.
Can I mean, how much do you make in total? Where $4,500 a month? Because I don't know if I'll get to that point where it's like, 40, like
I don't make as much as you. So, but I make a lot of money as far as flipping and all this other stuff goes. I mean, it's over 6 figures a month.
So over $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's significant, though.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd be doing this much? I never did.
No, I mean, I thought I'd be doing it, but in baseball. And when baseball was over, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Wow.
And eventually, once I started flipping houses, then it became really significant. And I was telling people in the video with the personal budgeting, I was like, hey, if this gets 50,000 views, I'll tell you guys exactly how much I make from all the income streams, because I've got, 5 different businesses, and, YouTube is just the newest. And that's where I'm like, I treat YouTube and anything I do like a business. It's like, hey, how do I set up systems and processes, and how can I scale this so that, I'm not so involved on it?
Wow.
That's incredible.
You're going to do well on YouTube. I already know it. Because I think it's because of your professionalism on YouTube. Just everything is immaculate, and your willingness to learn and improve every single episode. Just the content you make. The background is awesome. Your thumbnails are good. Your titles are a little niche, but I think that's going to improve. I mean, I would be doing the same thing. Under 100K subscribers, I'd be going niche, and then as you go an audience, you could start making content whatever you want. So I think you'll be at 100,000 pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get some tips from you after this.
No, you will. 100%. Wow, congratulations.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if we look at that 20,000 a month, it's a lot of money. But you're making enough where that's you're saving still what, 80% of your income?
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where else do you invest besides real estate?
Honestly, not a lot. So I've got some money in the market. I think like 200,000, and a lot of it's in Tesla. A lot of it's, honestly, I couldn't even tell you. I just don't really care for stocks that much. For me, most of it's in real estate. So like we have what do we have? Like 35 flips going on right now. So there's a lot of money in flips. You know, a lot of my wealth's in rentals. I think we have almost 30 rentals. And then for me, actually, I use most of my money for my businesses. So I'm like always reinvesting into my businesses because my philosophy is like, why invest in a stock in someone else's business when I got my own? I would rather have full control and be able to affect the outcome.
Because they're doing all the work for you. I think for me, at least, I've started shifting a lot towards the stock market. It's just nice just putting my money away and not having to. There's a sense of just relief and no stress, no worries. Market's going to go up and down.
Yeah.
But it's just as a good store of wealth and money. And even if I make just 4% a year on that, I'm totally fine with that.
Right.
It's just no stress. It just declutters your life. It's one less thing to worry about.
For me, I like the stress.
Really?
I enjoy starting new things, you know, having employees and like being able to like, you know, create a business that provides value. Like your YouTube channel provides so much value to everyone. Imagine doing that, you know, on other things as well. You know, you could have all these different businesses that you know, have such an impact on.
Yeah.
And I really just enjoy the entrepreneur side of everything. I really do. I don't like being passive.
Yeah. You know what? We got to change that battery on that. Yeah, I don't know. See, for me, I was the exact same way because I wanted to really maximize everything I'm doing. But now it's I've wanted to go away from that and just it's the peace of mind I value so much more now of just not having to do those things and just taking a little bit more of a laid back approach without as much responsibility. It's been really nice.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, and that's most people's goal, right? If you can just do whatever you want, like that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I would just get bored. If I had nothing to do and no like employees and people to like hang out with it, like honestly, me going to the office is like me going to recess every day.
Yeah.
Because I see all the people, we're interacting, we're making deals, we're doing things. And then when you see like their lives impacted by it, because, you know, I was telling you, we got a lot of employees and a lot of realtors. And so to know that our company's success is what, you know, makes them provide for their family. And, you know their wives, you know their kids, you know their spouses. Like, you just can't really get that with stocks. You know, it's just, it's a transaction, you know.
How many hours a week would you say you work?
So I go to the office Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, so 35 hours. I don't work weekends. And really just those 35 hours, I just try and put in as much as I can to all the various things I'm doing.
So you do everything in 35 hours a week?
Yeah.
With weekends off?
Yeah.
And evenings?
Yep.
That's insane. That's a lot.
That's so awesome.
That's a lot, man.
30, you said 31?
31.
31 and to be doing that. That is...
Well, and I'll tell you too, like the YouTube thing is the one I'm trying to figure out because I was talking to Andre about this. You know, he's having trouble because he's working nonstop to produce awesome videos. And I'm like, dude, I can't do that. Like at the end of the day, I got to figure out how can I produce as many videos as possible with, you know, as high of quality as possible in the shortest amount of time. That's literally my goal with YouTube's. And so somehow we've scaled to a video every day. And like, it's not that time consuming. So for me, I film every Monday. So all my guys know that. Don't talk to me on Monday. And I'm doing it at the office. I'm just going to film 5 videos today. I'll film all 5, pass it off to the editors. You know, I'm done for the week.
Do you script out your videos?
I bullet point them. Very light scripting, maybe like 7 bullet points that I want to make sure I hit. But I'm pretty good at freestyling most of them.
That's impressive. I was never able to do that. I spent so long. For me to make this 3 videos a week, I would say it's probably 50 hours of work.
Really?
For this 3 videos a week. Yeah.
Wow.
The second channel is fun. The second channel, sometimes I got to get in the mood for that because you got to be in that, like, you know, kind of happy, uppity mood. And sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do it. But you just do it. But yeah, the main channel is the grind. That's like hours every day figuring out like what is going to be the best topic. It's going to be interesting, and then planning it out and researching the video. And then titles and thumbnails could take hours.
And that's what I mean, but that's why you're so successful, you know? And I'm kind of taking a different approach to it. We'll see how it goes. But it's like, okay, for instance, if you have the normal YouTuber who does that, you know, I can't compete with that. I just personally don't want to do it. You know, how can I still, though, have a channel that's successful? And to me, it's like, if I can put out a high volume of videos, but they're still, you know, good videos, even if they're less researched and less, I mean, like, I don't have to research anything. Like, I'm not researching what's going on in the stock market. I don't talk about that stuff. Like, that's not my thing. But literally everything I talk about is just my own experiences from business. And so I'll just be like, hey, here's the top 3 things like I do to find house flips. I don't have to like research it. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Here's the 3, you know, go on to the next thing. So most of them are just no researching at all. So that's the thing.
And where are you looking to grow? Are you looking to grow in like popularity on YouTube, on TikTok, grow your business, or grow your income? What's your main focus right now in regards of growth?
That's a good one, dude. I think you want to grow everywhere, right? I mean, everyone wants to grow their business, their wealth, their, you know, social media and influence. Like, I don't think you'd see anyone who's like, nah, I don't want to grow. They wouldn't be successful if they didn't. So I would say I want to grow them all. But what I'll say is, like, over the years, the priority has always changed. So when I was growing my house flipping business, I was strictly just house flipping. You know, I wasn't worried about social media and all this other stuff. I'm like, how do I grow this business to be in, you know, multi-million-dollar business? Like, it's going to take all my effort. And then once I grew that and put the right people in place where, you know, they can now run it, then I'm like, okay, what's next? Okay, right now it just happens to be a season where I'm like, let's just try and be the best YouTube and TikTok guy that I can. You know, and I'm still just experimenting, figuring it out, like trying new thumbnails, trying different titles, different topics, different video lengths. Like today I did a baseball video, totally flopped. People don't even care. I'm like, well, you know.
Is that YouTube?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I guess people just don't really care that much about my baseball career. You know, they follow me for business and real estate, whatever. That's fine. So I'm just experimenting right now. And even with video frequency, I'm going 7 days a week.
I think that's probably too much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. For you like this, I would not be doing a video a day.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you put out 2 really quality videos like Andre.
Yeah.
Than 7 videos like this, 1 a day.
Yeah. And so that's where the tweaking is like, do I want to keep doing 7 a day, see how that goes, or try 2 a day, or 2 a week, sorry, and see how that goes?
I would say do my schedule, do 3 times a week. Try that.
Your thumbnails are pretty good. And
thumbnails, I think, are high quality. Yeah. Why I don't give my wife an allowance? Ooh,
that's a good one. That is a great title.
Wow. Why don't you give your wife an allowance?
I like that you hit that like button right away. I saw that. Just your habit.
That's a habit.
You didn't even see it and you liked it.
No, I almost every video I click on, you just like instinctually I like it because
you don't even know you're doing it.
I don't seriously like I was that was totally unconscious. That's weird. I just always hit the like button. Gosh. So yeah. So what's the situation with it? I don't give my wife an allowance.
This is another one. Yeah, I'm just testing, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? A lot of people ask me like, what's it like being an entrepreneur? How's your wife handle that? How do you handle having 2 kids and doing all this?
I'm curious. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a series. Let's try it out. And so we've been trying it out for the last couple of weeks. And my wife enjoys doing it.
Yeah. So I'm taking your wife doesn't work. She's at home?
She's a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. I mean, 2 kids, 2 years old. That's full time.
Yeah.
Probably works more than 35 hours a week.
She works more than me for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's like it's another series, and it's doing pretty good. I don't know what direction. And tell me, did you know what direction at 50,000 subscribers that you were going to take, or you were just still in that experiment?
No,
stage?
I had a pretty good direction on that.
Okay.
But I also had a lot of other channels to look to,
right,
who were doing way better than I was. And so I saw what they were doing and I'm like, okay, I see their flaws and I see where they're missing the mark, and I'm going to put my own spin on this. I'm going to do it in my way.
Right.
So I had a direction. It actually becomes harder as you grow because then it's like, who can you start to look to, or like what do you have to look up to for direction? Now it's like it's harder because you got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, now you got to just.
Now it's freestyle. Now it's like you like the tracks have been laid before you, and you just got to follow the tracks. But then you get to a point there's no more tracks.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out, okay, now I'm just navigating my own now.
Well, and the hard part
harder.
is once you've taken a path to get there, to go and try and switch it up is scary.
Right. So
yeah.
So with your wife, then what's the allowance thing, or what?
Yeah.
How does this work?
So this video was about just how do we manage money in our relationship, and we know a lot of married couples who, they either have split bank accounts, or someone gets an allowance, or whatever the case may be, and that's kind of the thing. Is like, I don't give my wife an allowance. Like, she can spend whatever she wants. That the title makes it seem like, oh man, I'm this big bad guy.
Right, yeah. I like the title. That's why I clicked on it.
draws you in.
It draws you in, but it is. I don't give her an allowance. Like, she can spend whatever she wants, So yeah, that was just about managing money.
Had there? This might be too much of the plot. Has there ever been a time where she's spent money, and you've been like, I can't believe like that would lead to some sort of like argument?
No, dude.
Starbucks or something like that.
You know what's funny? So when we first got married, right, we were really poor. We're young and poor. And she's in college going to be a teacher, which another poor profession. And I would always get on her because I'm like, you cannot be getting Starbucks. You cannot, like, we're going to have the Keurig, but not even like the K-Cup. We're going to do like the refillable Keurig deal. And so we were super frugal. And that's why I resonate with a lot of the things you did, because I did the same exact stuff. I'm just don't do it anymore. But like eventually we started making money, and then she got her Louis Vuitton bag and other stuff, but it's never like crazy.
You guys are on the same wavelength when it comes to that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm not going to get mad at her for getting a bag when I have nice stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
We got to do the outfit thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Your
How much
outfit,
is your
yeah,
outfit?
let's walk us through it.
Shirt. It looks like I have a similar shirt to that. I don't want to say that's H&M,
It is
but
H&M.
it is. Yeah.
Yep.
See, I have a very similar shirt. I had that shirt in the V-neck. I got rid of the V-neck one because it got a hole in the armpit. So now I just have the normal. That's the one I wear all the time. That gray shirt.
Yeah.
But not the V-neck. Okay.
So H&M. This is Lulu. So
It's expensive. All right. That's what, 110?
No, this one's
$100?
150
150.
on sale too. It's 200.
Jeez, why? Can I feel
Yeah,
it?
man.
It feels like a Zara jacket that could be like 60 bucks.
Let me give it
That's a $60 jacket from Zara.
Probably. Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
I like it.
All right.
Thank you, Jack.
Jeans.
Jeans.
Are good fitting jeans.
Yeah, what do you think they are? How much do you think they cost?
Hugo Boss.
No, I've never bought anything Hugo Boss.
The Levi's. My guess. The thing with jeans, they could be anywhere from $20 to like 300 or 500 bucks, and they look exactly
Based on
the
what
same.
I've been telling you, what do you think they are?
I'm gonna guess honestly, those are $60 jeans.
No, he's right. They're like $60 jeans.
Cinnamon,
They
yeah.
were like a Facebook ad, like
Okay.
the perfect New York or something jean. I can't remember what they were, but they're
Okay.
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's pretty
sensible
good.
outfit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Graham, same.
Oh yeah, so this shirt again. This is Brett Oppenheim. This shirt was free. Sweatpants. This was a gift. This was a Christmas gift. Sweatpants. Socks were also Brett Oppenheim. I kid you not. And then underwear is also Brett Oppenheim. So basically, my entire outfit.
It's from Brett.
This video was sponsored by Brett
Actually,
Oppenheim.
this entire outfit that I'm wearing is free. Everything.
The watch?
Well, not the watch. Not the watch. But besides the watch, this entire outfit.
So
has
wait,
been
how much
$0.
is the watch?
It was like 20.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're outdressing me. I've got an
So-
Apple Watch. So
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
There we go. What about you, Jack? What about today?
The shirt was a gift. The pants were also a gift.
Really?
And yeah,
Okay.
and that's it.
Brett Oppenheim. Brett Oppenheim.
That's literally it. Yeah, hat was a gift as well.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Wow, there we go. It's just getting gifted clothing.
What size you wear? I'll get you.
Medium, maybe large.
That's a large, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna gift you a bunch of clothes.
Whoa! Wow! Hey, subscribe to Ryan Pineda.
Wow.
Make sure you do that right now.
No, what's funny is my employees, like, they know because I have a pretty small closet for my house. And so for me to get a new piece of clothing, I have to get rid of one. That's how it goes. Same thing with shoes. Like, if I want to get rid of a shoe, or if I want to get a shoe, I got to get rid of a shoe. And so my employees are all very similar build. And so they get all my old stuff, whether pretty much like Brett Oppenheim did.
Yeah, see, Brett, Jason, and I are pretty much the same size.
Yeah.
So usually how it starts is Jason will get something, but he'll just not like it, and he never returns it, so it goes to Brett. Brett will wear it for about 6 months. Brett changes his outfit so often, and then he cleans out his entire wardrobe. And then I end up with like 60%, and then Eric from my office gets another 40%.
Wow.
Sometimes it's whoever's in the office at the right time. Brett will come in, and it's a free-for-all.
That's exactly what happens at our office, too. Yeah. I just literally will dump the shoes in the bag of clothes. I'm like, guys, whoever wants it, wants it.
It's smart because I got a whole bunch of stuff that I gave Jack that just I haven't worn in a long time.
Yeah.
And for Jack, it's like, whoa, it's some crazy stuff.
This is Graham's shirt.
Yeah.
Let's superhero now.
Yes, upgrades.
For me, it's I'm cleaning out, but that's how I feel when I get clothes from Brett or Jason. Like it's made my day.
What about like, have you got expensive clothes like suits and stuff?
I have one suit that I bought probably over 10 years ago, $1,200 and tailored.
Yeah,
that's the same jacket I wear to this day. The pants have a hole in them, unfortunately, but that's okay. Besides that, I don't really know. I'd never bought anything more than like 100, maybe $200. Other than that,
what about you? What's your most expensive article of clothing?
I actually don't have expensive clothing. You know, like I buy a lot of, not expensive, but like good. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't have a $1,000 suit. I don't even think I have a clothing over $200. Like this might be it. Mm-hmm. So I'm more about buying just. I like to just switch my style. I know my style switches all the time, so it's like I'm not gonna buy a $2,000 suit.
So where do you waste your money then? Where do you spend? Your wife likes food, dude. Louis Vuitton. You like food? She does.
I like food.
Yeah.
I don't even spend a lot on shoes. I buy a lot of shoes, but they're like $50 to $80. It's not like I'm a sneakerhead buying Jordans.
This would have been the perfect segue. We got a sponsor coming up. We can't plug this sponsor here. This would have been the perfect segue for this sponsor. We're not going to mention it here, but next time.
This episode might go up in November.
Really?
And if it does, I could insert.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll see.
There you go.
What do you think about frugality in general and Graham's take on frugality? Do you think he takes it too extreme, or do you think that it makes sense considering like overall like priorities?
Yeah. And you could be harsh here. Yeah. You could tell the truth. We're in a safe spot. What you say on the podcast does not get taken personally.
You never be invited back. Like I said, I was just like you in terms of frugality when I was really broke. Mm-hmm. And then it just changed once I started making money.
Lifestyle inflation.
Yeah, for sure. But even still, like you said, it's like I was never one of those guys that's like, okay, I'm going to go buy a Bentley now or whatever. Like I could, but that's not me. Like it's still a waste. I've been looking at like AP watches and stuff, and I'm like, man, that would be tight. But I'm like,
I could see you with a nice stainless steel from Royal Oak.
Yeah, I want an offshore, Royal Oak offshore. But I'm like, it's just not like, I can't justify it. So I still have those in terms of like other stuff.
I think you could justify it because it's not going to go down in value. You get a good deal on a stainless steel watch, that's going to keep its value. That's your savings account right there. That's the way I would see it.
Well, I might get one then.
Yeah.
But, I've kind of gotten bigger with it. But for you, it's like, you just got to do what makes you happy. Like if being frugal makes you happy, like no one should force themselves to spend, which is obviously where you're just like, you enjoy waiting for sushi at the end of the week. If you got sushi every day, you'd be like, I don't enjoy this anymore.
Yeah.
I understand that. And it's just like, I want to see what happens with you once you achieve like just crazy wealth, because you're going to get there. So it's like, at what point is Graham going to be like, yeah, doing the iced coffees just doesn't make sense anymore? When is that going to happen?
It's never going to not make sense, because I prefer this coffee over Starbucks.
When will you start spending? I don't even know what you'd spend more money on. What would you spend more on?
There's really not much that I want. The only things that I feel like I really want is a reef tank. That's just something, it's more of a logistical thing. I was going to put a reef tank here.
Okay.
But if I'm spending time in Vegas,
Put it there.
moving there, I want to put it there. So reef tank is something I absolutely want. The piano is something I'm going to get. I got the drum set this year.
Okay.
I think maybe, you know what? Like now it's things to save time. I would say is like a driver. I think would be really nice. I paid Jack once to drive me to Ventura. One night, and I got editing done. I got an hour and a half of editing done in the car.
That's a running joke at my company too. Is like, who's gonna send a driver?
Yeah. So I would say probably that's the only thing that I could think of that would really improve the quality of my life is just not having to drive.
But that's not like a unnecessary. That's a business.
Right.
Like you're trying to gain time. Like that's smart. But like spending for no reason. Like, would you ever? Well, you probably don't travel enough. But would you ever buy a jet?
No.
Well,
you know what? I mean, if I had unlimited money.
Yeah.
Like and just there were so many zeros in a bank account, I would for the purpose of saving time.
Right. So you're down to spend to save time.
Yes.
At this point, you'd get a personal chef, all those things.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, all those things. They save time.
Right.
What about, I guess then it just comes down to material items. Like at the end of the day, is there anything?
Reef tank.
The reef tank.
The reef tank. I would love a Rolex Daytona, but part of me purposely just doesn't want to buy those things.
Yeah.
Because I like looking forward to them.
Right.
I like the fact that like I could go on eBay every now and then and look through it.
Look for a deal.
And just like wish and be like, oh, one day I want to get the Rolex Daytona.
How do you trick yourself though? Because like you can get it. How do you trick yourself?
Because I think it's just a silly purchase. Like I don't need one right now.
Right.
I like having that to look forward to. So I keep it there. And unfortunately, those prices have gone up. So I've lost a lot of money looking
It's
forward
been
to
a
that
bad
one.
decision.
No, so I started looking at the Rolex. It's a Zenith Rolex Daytona.
Okay.
I started looking at this watch back in like 2012 and wondering, why is this watch the same price as the normal Daytonas? And this is 2012. And back then, this watch in a stainless steel was maybe like $9,000 to $10,000. And I was like, oh, I can't afford it. I was throwing everything into real estate. And then the prices started going up on them. And then they're like 15. I'm like, wait a second. Now it's 15. Now it's too expensive. But I really wanted that watch. Right. Now they're like 40 to 50 grand. Sometimes even more if you get the watches with box and papers, because people realize like the Zenith Rolex Daytona was really rare. It was only made for a few years. And it's the same movement in this watch. And that's why I want it, because it plays off of the whole Zenith thing. So I've lost a lot of money. I could have 4x my money on that.
Well, you know what's funny is I've never cared about watches or cars or anything. You know, I didn't even start getting curious about watches until YouTube, because for whatever reason, the algorithm keeps showing me them. Mm-hmm. And then like I was hanging out with a couple of people and they were talking about Rolexes and AP. I'm like, I didn't even know what an AP was until 6 months ago. I'm not even lying. And I heard you say on a video before, Patek. I'm like, I don't even know what a Patek is. I had no idea. And then I start researching them. I'm like, okay, like I want one. Like I want an AP. I've narrowed it down. This is what I want. And it's just funny how that works. It's just like, I never had a desire to get one.
Yeah. I would recommend you get one, because I feel like it's one of those things that once you buy a watch like that, you understand just the art behind it and the history behind the manufacturer. And there are those people who just get the watches to flex.
Right.
And those are the dudes with the gold, everything Hublots, and they're, you know, but there's an art and a sophistication behind these really great watches, and they hold their value, and some of them go up in value. And it's just really neat to get behind. I feel like at some point I get there with art too.
Right.
And just the history behind it and just the significance of certain pieces, I think is really unique.
Yeah.
So that like I should get a dinosaur skull one day, like some real, like some actual.
What's in your studio? Don't you have like some dinosaurs?
That's a replica.
Oh,
if that were real, I mean, that would be like
that would be
700 grand.
expensive.
Yeah.
But you will probably spend 700 grand at some point, is what you're saying.
Okay, so here, I do weird stuff like that. Like I will pinch pennies, and then I would do something like that, like spend like 300 grand on a dinosaur skull.
That's what I'm getting at.
Everything until then, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to pay extra. That's an extra 10 cents. I'm not going to do that.
That's what I'm getting at, because we know that it makes no sense at all.
That does make sense because I don't want to overspend.
I wouldn't
like-
say it makes complete sense.
Yeah, it does.
Because like if you're saving $1, but you're gonna go spend 300,000, like what does it matter?
Because you
All
have
those
to
Starbucks
value.
are not gonna pay for that.
Because the value. It's like, why waste money? I always go back to the days where I remember what it was like. I worked this just brief job at this place called Goldline International, like right at the time I was graduating high school, before I got my license. I remember making like $8 an hour. It was like 8 to 10 an hour. I can't remember. And how hard I had to work to make $10 an hour. And so I still see things as though I'm making $10 an hour. And I think
Right.
like that coffee is half hours worth of work for a lot of people. That's stupid. That's a waste of money.
Right.
So I still respect money in the same way as back then. Like I remember $20, how far you could make $20 go. So
Yeah.
like for little things like that, fine. It's harder to conceptualize like what's a $200,000 piece of art.
Right. That's so interesting. I don't know that there are many people like you on that aspect. Like I think you're very unique in that, you know, you see the value of something so expensive like that, art or a watch or, you know, stuff that's, you know, not a necessity, right? And, you know, this other stuff, it's like, it's so deep in your DNA that it'll never change.
Yeah, but those things, I feel like once you consume them, they're gone. Like the Starbucks,
Right.
That's gone as soon as I drink it. Clothes, I'll wear it for a few months, let's say a year or two. The shelf life of that is pretty small. A piece of art is going to stay forever. The value is there forever. With a watch, that's an heirloom piece that you could pass down if you need the money. It's there. It's just transferring my money from like cash to now all of a sudden it's this piece of art.
Yeah.
All the money's still there. So I'm not losing anything in that transaction versus a Starbucks or an overpriced dinner or like a pair of like sneakers.
Right.
That's gone. So that's the way I see it.
I got a really good book for you to read. It's called Die with Zero. You ever heard of it?
No.
It's essentially talking about how, you know, the goal in life essentially should be to die with zero. And it doesn't mean like go spend all your money because you don't know when you're going to die, right?
Yeah.
But it comes down to like, well, wouldn't it be better? Let's just say your dream was to give away a lot of money. Wouldn't it be better to give away that money while you're alive?
Yeah, but you
instead of
don't.
it?
But you don't know when.
No,
you're
you
gonna
don't.
but also, you'd want to pass them down to family,
Right.
and take care of your family and your friends. But then you don't know when you're. I mean, if we had a timeline saying like, listen, like 20 years from now. Now I don't want to jinx it. But let's just say you're 80 years old, and they're like, okay, you're gonna pass away this age.
Right.
Then maybe it's like, okay, let's have some fun here.
Right.
But wouldn't you want to
yeah.
enjoy that when you're younger
Well,
as well?
well, and this is the point of Die with
yeah.
Zero is like, okay, in the end, it would be better to give it away while you're alive so you could see your family enjoy it, right? Instead of you're dead, you have no idea what happens, okay, with that. But like while you're young, his theory is you should spend more on experiences, which is what I was going to get into. Is what's your take on vacations, experiences, and that stuff? Because he says when you have experiences when you're younger, you get to hold on to those experiences your whole life. But when you have them when you're older, you're in worse shape. You don't get to keep the experience long because it's later in life. So like you should invest in experiences while you're young.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoy working so much though. Like it has not, I mean, it's crossed my mind to go on vacations every now and then, but I enjoy working at this juncture right now. Work, I think takes a bit of a priority. And I think in the future that's going to change at some point.
Right.
It's fascinating. I was talking with my grandpa, and he's getting older, and he says that the last line in The Great Gatsby can sum up like your final years in life or whatever pretty well. And it's something along the lines of like, and we move on like boats against the current, yada, yada, something being born ceaselessly into the past or something. And he says like when you're older, all you really have in the end are your memories.
Right.
So why would you want to use those years where all you can really do or all you do is reflect back on life? Why would you want to have all of those things when you wouldn't even be able to use them? And all you can think back on is all of the times when you were younger and you were taking advantage of all of those,
Right.
all of your
Well, that's the
money
whole point
and-
of the book is like, you know, when you're young, you're at your healthiest. You're enjoying, like for me, I look back in my 20s and I see when I was 21 playing baseball for no money, grinding it out on the bus. I loved it, you know? And I look back on all the places I traveled over the country, and it's like you couldn't take those memories away from me. and I wasn't making any money doing it. I definitely delayed my wealth, immensely because of that. You go play minor league baseball for 8 years, getting nothing. It's like, okay, you're not really working towards your future doing that. You're just enjoying the process. And I'll trade that for anything. And now it's like, okay, I experienced that. My 20s were awesome playing baseball. Now it's like, all right, my 30s, let's spend it really building an empire, essentially.
See, I took the opposite approach. I took my 20s.
Right.
Let's build the empire in your 20s, and then early 30s, probably mid 30s, and then after that.
But you're going to keep building. That's where the thing is, though. At some point, you're going to decide, do I stop building and start enjoying, or do I just continue to build the empire?
I have a feeling at some point it's gonna shift.
Yeah.
At some point, I don't know exactly when, but I've always taken it that like your early years are the time where you really just put your head down, you work away, and that gives you so many options in the future. Like I'd rather have like a guaranteed 35, you could do whatever, than start at 30. Right. Or start at like 28 and then.
Well, and that's that's the wisdom we always hear from, the big entrepreneurs and stuff, is like grind while you're 20s and get ahead, and you'll be set up when you're 30s. And this book kind of shifts that.
But see, here's the thing too. You have the energy and the stamina in your 20s to pull those 12-hour days every single day.
Right.
I think it's harder to do that as you get older with more responsibilities and with a family.
Right.
Like putting in those 12-hour days now for you would be very difficult with a wife and kid. I mean, I know you could do it. I'm sure you could do it. But it wouldn't be as easy as, let's say, 10 years ago.
100%. You're absolutely right.
So I feel like from a career perspective, you get that competitive advantage. And I feel like fewer people are doing it when you're younger.
Yeah.
Because most people, maybe not most, but I feel like a lot of people take that approach that I have my entire life ahead of me. Let me at least just do my things now, and then by 30, I could get serious.
Yeah.
So I know there's pros and cons to each. And here's the thing. I think whatever place people take, that's what they recommend. So everyone who's like, I lived it up in my 20s, I partied, that's the best. And then everyone who didn't do that, they're like, no, I worked away, that's the best. I don't think there's any convincing either other way.
It makes sense that people would just act on what they inherently desire.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like your inherent desires are different than yours.
Yeah.
So you probably naturally just fall into that channel.
Right.
Well, and for me though, I was working really hard towards my goal. Like I wasn't out partying, doing stuff. Like I was like strictly practice, work out, eat right, do all the things. I worked way harder in my 20s than I do now. Seriously. It's like, I don't think you at some point you got to value the experiences of life over the material things, the investments. Cause like we can buy the investment and the material thing. And even if we own it forever, like art or a watch versus clothes, which have a lifespan, it's like that memory is worth something. And the longer you have that memory, earlier in life, the more valuable it is because you get to hold it longer.
I have a terrible memory. That's the problem. I forget things. Every day bleeds by to the next. And I swear, like, Macy and I have some conversations, like, and 2 days ago, I'm like, wait, what day was that? Was that, like, last week? What was this again? I forgot. I'll remember anything, like, with the S&P 500. Like, I'll remember what Nancy Pelosi said. But, like, every day, like, I don't remember, like, more than, like, 3 days ago, seriously. It's really bad. But I think that's, like, when you work from home every day.
It's all a blur.
And you're just, it is. It becomes a blur.
Yeah.
So, oh, my gosh. Anyway, we should probably wrap up. We got a good episode.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd just like to end off saying? Any advice? Any word?
I mean, we covered a lot. We covered life, investing, businesses.
Yeah, we're getting better at the podcast. You're getting us at, so far, I would say our best. Because in the beginning, we were a little bit too structured. We were good, but we had a structure, we had an outline, and now we're figuring this out 20 episodes in of like how to do these and what to talk about.
Yeah.
And I've noticed going in without a plan and just having a natural conversation seems to be what most people enjoy.
I think so.
So give us your take on this. And if you've made it this far, let us know down in the comments. One thing that I realized, and I brought up to Graham on one of our runs, is that if we don't come in with some sort of outline, because for the first like 20 or so episodes, I would prepare 2-page long outlines for every single podcast, and I would make sure that we would hit every single one of those talking points. And it became kind of an issue because if I make all of these bullet points that we have to hit, that's our cap on how entertaining or exciting we can be, because it's exactly where we're leveled off. Whereas I see other podcasts like Joe Rogan, and they kind of just go in with it, and then wherever the conversation goes, they just keep going there. And I think like conversation naturally will lead to the most exciting, like just chat. You know, like we will naturally just gravitate towards the most exciting thing because that's what we want to talk about, rather than
your hair
adhering.
Yeah.
Your hair and your wife's allowance.
Exactly. Like it restricts us when we have to adhere to these bullet points. So let us know what you guys think about that. Thank you for coming on so much. We really appreciate it. It was a great
You weren't
episode.
recording. I'm kidding. Gotcha.
Got him.
Gotcha.
Hey, but that was a great speech. You crushed
that
it.
was good.
And everyone will hear it.
Thanks, yeah.
I always try to mess with Jack. Every now and then, like, bro, it's not recording.
All the time. And I try.
You're like listening to yourself speak too.
Yeah, I literally am. I've checked it like 10 I've checked it like 10 times too.
Yeah.
During this episode.
Usually, like once or twice a week, I'll try to throw a curveball.
And he does
Keep him on his toes.
Gosh, it feels like when I fall off a curb or whatever, and you get like that jolt in your heart.
You're like, we're gonna have to
Horrible.
redo that 2 minute
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
the filibuster.
Gosh.
Well,
Cool.
on a final note, how was your coffee?
It was delicious. You know, I've been waiting for this day ever since I found out it was a Graham's specialty, and it
Cool.
lived up to it.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I couldn't finish mine. It's late. I don't want to be up all night, so I gotta keep it to a minimum. So cool. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll link to all your information down below in the description. Let's get you to 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And with the iced coffee out, let's get this to 100,000 subscribers too.
Yeah.
We could do it. If you're watching, here's the thing. If everybody watching this just subscribed, we'd get there like almost overnight.
200,000?
Yeah, because some of those episodes did over 100,000.
I know, but we got to tell them to subscribe in the beginning. You got to tell them to subscribe.
Yeah, but if they're watching to the end, 50% watch to the end, even the 50,000 people. So
If you watch to the
subscribe.
end and you're not subscribed, that's tough.
Yeah, just comment down below and let me know why you're not subscribed. The only excusable reason is that you don't have an account and you're not logged in. That's it.
Make an account.
That's it. Now
And
make
log
an
into that
account and subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. We'll put our Instagrams down there. If you guys want 3 free stocks from Weeble, you can get that down below in the description. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching.
The mentorship group. This episode is sponsored by the mentorship group. So if you want to join, the link to that is down below in the description. We meet every single Sunday morning and Thursday night. One of those is a Zoom call. So if you just want to talk, do whatever. Jack's there. I'm there. Want to talk to us, ask us questions. It's really fun. So link is down below in the description. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Until next time.
Go.
Perfect.
Scooting right here.
So this would be, do you want to introduce us on this? We usually have the guests introduce us.
Okay. Cool. What's the intro supposed to be like?
Welcome to the 24th ever episode of the Iced Coffee Hour. And then you just say, should we say how much we've made? Because we're doing this back to, we don't really need it. You could just say.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Just say we've made 10,000. It's about 10,500.
$10,500.
$10,500 on the podcast thus far.
Okay. So this is the 24th
Ever.
episode of the Iced Coffee Hour. We've made approximately, if you mess up, well, it doesn't matter. We've made approximately $10,500.
Should I say we or you guys?
It doesn't matter.
Say we.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say we, because it's a group effort here.
All right. Sounds good.
I just wait 1 sec. Go.
So just, hey, this is the 24th.
Welcome to the 24th ever episode.
Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome to the 24th ever episode of the Ice Coffee Podcast. Ice Coffee Hour Podcast.
We should just call it the Iced Coffee Podcast now.
Yeah, we should.
That's what everyone just ends up saying.
Really? You think so? The iced coffee? I call it the iced coffee hour.
But
What
if
do
it goes
you
longer?
think? What do you think?
I think the Ice Coffee Podcast is good.
Iced coffee podcast. I don't want to make it seem like it's all about iced coffee, though.
That's true. All right.
Anyway,
We'll do it again. All right.
Go. There we go.
Welcome to the 24th ever episode of the Ice Coffee Hour Podcast. We've approximately made $10,000. Wait, what?
10,500.
10,500.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right, so, hold on. How do you use Avril Lavigne?
Dude, I don't think you're
Side
gonna find it
profile
like that.
really sounds